Ne Parle Pas Français is a short story by Katherine Mansfield. The translation of this modernist short stories I don't speak French and is from the first-person perspective of Raoul Ducat, an unreliable narrator, sitting in a sleazy Parisian café, who frequently utilizes internal monologues to recall and reveal his infatuation with an Englishman. The short story takes place at the backdrop of the end of World War I, fear, and food rationing, with Paris celebrating a momentous victory and an economic boom. Raoul Ducat, a disheveled writer and pimp from Paris, narrates the tale of an Englishman named Dick Harmon and a woman known as Mouse whom Harmons brings to the city. Dick, torn by loyalty to his mother, abandons Mouse, who faces the predicament of being unable to return to England. Raoul, self-identifying as a genuine Parisian at the age of 26 years old and a Parisian, a true Parisian, is a writer whose book titles, such as False Coins, Wrong Doors and Left Umbrellas, symbolize the hollowness of his existence and the dishonest nature of his character. He asserts having only one childhood memory, a sexual encounter with an African laundress, which he links to his adult sexual deviance, including promiscuity, possible bisexuality, occasional prostitution, and pimping. In the end, he takes pleasure in Mouse's sorrow and envisions selling a similar girl to an elderly lecher. Mansfield brilliantly portrays ambiguous relationships, revealing Raoul's emotional shallowness and distorted perceptions. Raoul reflects on human experience, triggered by an encounter with the phrase Ne Parle Pas Français on blotting paper in a café. These reflections led him to reminisce about his obsession with his English friend, Dick Harmon, with whom he extensively studied French literature during Harmon's initial stay in Paris. Raoul felt slighted when Harmon abruptly had to return to England but later agreed to assist him in finding accommodations when the Englishman returned to Paris, accompanied by a captivating young woman named Mouse. The short story's title originates from Mouse's declaration Ne Parle Pas Français, her initial words to Raoul and her last words to him before they part ways. Despite Raoul's promise to check on Mouse and ensure her well-being, he never fulfills that commitment, perhaps due to jealousy, after Harmon abandons her shortly after their arrival in Paris, supposedly to reunite with his mother. The pervasive themes of deviance and emptiness are visible throughout the entire narrative. Raoul, claiming people lack a soul, demonstrates ambiguous psychosexual connections, despising women, harboring a sexual attraction to Dick, and vaguely recognizing the suffering he observes. Incapable of deep emotion, Raoul spies on those with fuller lives than his own. He despises women, is sexually attracted to Dick, and is able to recognize only dimly the suffering that he has witnessed. In his self-absorption, he believes others to be mere props in his life's saga and thus is incapable of ever connecting with or believing in human souls, as he declares. "I don't believe in the human soul. I never have. I believe that people are like portmanteaus, packed with certain things, started going, thrown about, tossed away, dumped down, lost and found, half emptied suddenly, or squeezed fatter than ever, until finally the ultimate porter swings them onto the ultimate train and away they rattle." Mansfield introduces the narrator Raoul as a character deliberately constructed to be artificial, deceptive, perceiving himself as a literary masterpiece while viewing the world around him as side characters in his life story. Raoul serves as an unreliable narrator, embodying Mansfield's exploration of the fragile nature of the self and the inherent challenges in both taking action and representing experiences. Raoul's entire persona, including his French identity, is, in a sense, a self-reflective construct. Notably, the portrayal of sex, including Raoul's alleged homosexuality, is boldly daring, adding to the overarching ambiguity enveloping his character and actions in the narrative. This leads to the story's exploration of homosexuality and desire. At the time when this story was written and published, transgressive laws and regressive social values regarding sexual identities prevented Mansfield from openly labeling Raoul and Harmon's sexual identities. Mansfield uses covert and signified language is used to bring to the surface the underlying sexual tension between the characters. Raoul hints at his homosexuality by openly declaring that he was a Parisian, a true Parisian. He sprinkles hints at Dick Harmon's perhaps closeted sexual identity. "After that I took Dick about with me everywhere, and he came to my flat, and sat in the armchair, very indolent, playing with the paper knife. I cannot think why his indolence and dreaminess always gave me the impression he had been to sea. And that, all the while we were together, Dick never went with a woman. I sometimes wondered whether he wasn't completely innocent. Perhaps," Harmon himself was wavering or unaware of what exactly he wanted and desired, as he couldn't be with Raoul openly but also couldn't be comfortable with Mouse, and thus he abandoned them to apparently be with his mother, maybe to spend life as a bachelor.